Hey, so we're gonna see if this is actually gonna work because it told me that it was reconnecting. So, we'll see. Okay, so 6 foods that could be causing your bloating. So I hear women say all the time, hey, I don't feel great, I feel bloated, things like that. And I did a little bit of research, and some of these I already knew that they were causing that, and some of these I did not know. So I wanted to share these with you in case that's something that's causing a little bit of discomfort for you. I've been really focused on gut health recently and what happens inside your belly and how the digestive system works, and I've been working on my own because one of those foods that we're going to talk about is actually very directly related to something that I have. So before I get into that, if you're hopping on, say hi. My name is Rachel Farley. So glad that you came on and watched this. If you're watching the replay, type in #replay or type in live if you're here live. And drop me a comment if you as you're watching this, if you're on number 1, then type in what that is. And I love the interaction. I reply to every possible comment. So, and I appreciate you hopping on. So let's get into it. So number 1, and I have my notes because I'm easily distracted. So I have kids. So number 1 is probably a slightly obvious one for everybody, but I wanted to mention why. Why would it cause bloating? So, and stomach discomfort. So number 1 is beans. Now they have a lot of good protein and a lot of good carbs. Carbs are necessary for hormones in case that was something that you weren't really sure about. It also is a good source of fiber, which is very necessary for gut health and bacterial health and good digestion. We really need fiber. Most of us don't get enough of it, myself included, and so I have a chocolate fiber that I drink. It just tastes like chocolate milk. I can drink it warm or cold, so I do that. It doesn't replace getting good fiber, but it is helpful. So now beans for people with like sensitive stomachs, like I hear a lot of people say, oh yeah, I have a very sensitive stomach, or people with stomach issues that they're dealing with, they will feel this a whole lot more than people with a healthy digestive system. So if you're not sure if you have a digestive issue and you haven't really thought about it, but you have a lot of gas, that might be why. There might be something going on in your gut that might need a little bit of tweaking. One thing that you can do with beans, if you really love them, you can soak them overnight for 12 hours at least, and you can sprout them, and that will reduce the bloats that you might be feeling. So that's a possible option there. If you really want to do beans and you don't want to soak them and you don't want to sprout them and you don't want to do any of that because you're too busy like me, pinto beans are a good alternative. They're a good choice as far as beans go, and black beans are also a really good choice. Otherwise, you can go with the grains like meats and different grains and some quinoa. So that's some options for you there. Number 2 that could be causing bloats is carbonated drinks. Yes, even carbonated water, but most of the time it's the carbonated drinks. They're high in carbon dioxide, which then gets in your body, which produces gas, which then goes through your digestive system as gas, comes out the other end. Kind of straightforward, but we don't think about that. We're so used to sometimes drinking soft drinks if we haven't cut them out of our diet yet, or we're so used to drinking like seltzer water or things like that we don't think about what it's possibly causing our stomach. So I wanted to mention that one. Alternatives you can do are coffee, tea, flavored water. That's still water, but you add in a little bit. Like I like to add strawberries. I like to add a lime. Kind of makes a little bit of a strawberry limeade water without the spritz, the fizz. Number 3 is wheat. Now that might seem kind of weird. That affects with people that have a somewhat higher gluten sensitivity, but it also could be for people who have a sensitive stomach. If you're feeling like you're not eating any of the other stuff, but you are eating bread, that might be a good one to take a look at. if you have a gluten sensitivity, of course, it can cause gas, pain, diarrhea, that kind of thing. So that's not so fun. What you can replace is you can do oats, quinoa, buckwheat, almond flour, and coconut flour. Those are going to taste different. They don't cook the same way, but they are a good alternative if it really, really does bug you. Sometimes if you don't have a huge gluten intolerance, sometimes you can eat sourdough bread, and that's the one I do because I don't have a huge gluten intolerance, but I do know that eating bread does make me feel very bloated. And so even though I'm not celiac or anything like that, so I eat sourdough bread, which be careful the sourdough bread that you get at the store. Some of it is just a souring agent and not actual sourdough that has been fermented and all that. So just kind of watch the back of the package there just to make sure you're getting the real stuff. I get mine at HEB. I don't know if that's something that you guys want to look into. That's a good option. So dairy products can cause bloating. I know that, I mean, it's such a huge staple in houses right now, but if my kids drink too much milk or eat too much cheese, they're passing gas like crazy. So that might cause bloating. 75%, according to some research, 75% of the population cannot break down lactose. And so they don't have enough enzymes of the lactase enzymes in their digestive system to be able to break it down fully. For most people, it doesn't really affect them. It just causes bloating. For some, like me, which is what I was referring to earlier, I cannot eat anything that has lactose in it unless I take a lactase enzyme. So if you are lactose intolerant, say, drop a hand in the comments, let me know. Because I found an awesome enzyme that you can take right before, and it's allowed me to do a little bit of dairy. So that's really cool. I'm enjoying cheese again. So with that, there are lactose-free cheeses that you can get. There's a cottage cheese that we found at HEB that is lactose-free cottage cheese. Lactose-free products, here's what that actually means. They added the enzyme in there so you don't have to. So you don't have to produce it. So they put inside the product the lactase enzyme that you need to break down the lactose inside the product. So it's already in there for you in the amount that's needed to properly break it down so your digestive system doesn't have to do it. So that's all that means. It doesn't normally make it taste very different. Kind of depends on your palate, I guess, but I don't really notice a difference. I did not used to be lactose intolerant until 2006. And so that came on, that onset was a little bit later, as is for most people. So if you are suddenly finding yourself lactose intolerant, it's kind of normal. There's a whole other thing we can get into that with that, but lactase enzymes, amazing. So reach out to me if you need a suggestion for those. I have some really, really awesome ones. Apples could be a cause for bloating. Isn't that crazy? I never thought about apples, but there's a component in there that is, it's called fructose. I know you guys probably have heard that term before, but it gets to the large intestines pretty much unchanged, which then causes a reaction with the bacteria that's inside that intestine, and it causes some bloating and some gas. So that if you have a sensitive stomach, that could be the cause of the gas. For apples, you can try other fruits. This one is especially high in that fructose content, so I would try some other fruits if you want. And then number 6 is sugar alcohols. So a lot of people use sugar alcohols when they're trying to get rid of sugar. When they're trying to do a sugar detox, they use that alternative because it doesn't spike their blood sugar like normal, white sugar or brown sugar does. And so, which is also associated with weight gain. So a lot of people try to get rid of sugar or go down on their sugar if they're trying to lose weight. So if you're doing the alternative sugars, which are alcohols, the ones that cause the most digestive discomfort are xylitol, sorbitol, and mannitol. and those are going to be the ones that produce the most gas. So if you have something that you're using as a sugar alternative and it has one of those in there and you're having a lot of digestive discomfort, that's probably why. A good alternative, stevia is always amazing. Agave is a pretty good one as well, but stevia is my go-to. You can try erythritol. That one is usually better than xylitol or some of the other ones, but it still causes me a little bit of digestive upset. You can also try monk fruit. That's a good one. It's not, it's an actual sugar. So, and it does not spike your blood sugar. So I hope you guys like these. So those were my 6 foods that are pretty common that could be causing digestive upset or bloating. If you're dealing with bloating, if you're trying to lose weight and you're really trying to get your gut in shape and all that, bloating is kind of part of the process. If you've never tried any probiotics, I take a probiotic, but when I first started, I just started on a brand new one. It has probiotic, prebiotic, and postbiotic, and I said that wrong. I will have to correct that. But I started one. It does have the 3 components in there, and if you are trying a new one, it's possible that will cause a little bit of bloating, a little bit of digestive upset as the bacteria balances out a little bit. And so don't worry, that usually goes away within just a few days, maybe a week. Now, if it's causing like extreme digestive distress and you're having to run to the bathroom, you can't hold it, then, you know, back off of your probiotic, take half a dose. But within a certain amount of time, hey, Heather, thanks for jumping on. If you are starting out with a new probiotic, especially a strong one, it's okay. Like, expect a possibility of bloating. That's normal. Back off of it for, like, take half a dose every single day, and then that will help build up your good gut bacteria and will help with that reaction between, it's that postbiotic reaction, and so it will help eliminate the gas while the good stuff is taking over the bad stuff. So I will probably do another video a little bit more on that, because that's kind of a fun new thing I'm discovering with this one that has these 3 components. But for today, I wanted to stick with the bloating because that's something that women really experience. So thanks for hanging out with me. Drop it in the comments which one you have discovered possibly causes bloating and you're eating it. So let me know in the comments. I would love to know. For me, it was apples was the big one. So I had no idea. So when I did my research, apples, I was like, really? Apples can cause bloating? Oh my gosh. So it was fun research. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you later. Thanks for hopping on. Bye.